So I got started in this industry off of a serious injury that took place. My stepfather was a barber, and I had to be maybe 13, 14 years old when my stepfather, he was cutting my hair, and I'm talking about he took a big chunk of my ear off. I remember the clipper, it was a 76 Classic, and he was getting close to the ear, and normally when you nick somebody, you pull back, but somehow, some way, the clipper just kept kind of going through, and it cut my ear to the point where I needed stitches. And so instead of, the whole fight or flight thing, instead of fleeing and just growing my hair out and not ever getting a haircut again, I did something very unique at that point. I told him, I said, listen, I want to learn how to cut hair. My thought process was, if I am the one who's cutting my hair, then I know I'm going to take my time, and I'm going to be very cautious about not hurting myself. And so my stepfather was the one who taught me how to cut hair. Now, I started out cutting with my friends, typical friends, family, or whatever have you. My stepfather would never let me cut his hair. And one tragic day, my mom and my stepfather were coming home, and my stepfather fell for no reason. I mean, he was out of the blue, he just fell. And we took him to the doctors and found out that he had multiple sclerosis, MS for short. And if you know what MS does, MS affects your nervous system in many different ways. And so his nervous system was firing at all cylinders, and it was just out of whack. And unfortunately, he lost his ability to walk, and he lost his ability to be able to hold steady the clippers. So after a while, I ended up becoming his barber. And I remember the first time I cut his hair, and he looked at it and everything. He was like, taught you well. He was happy about it. So I just continued to cut his hair. And I remember it getting so bad that he started getting lesions on the brain, and he literally just couldn't do anything for himself at that point. And we were praying for him and things of that nature. We thought we were gonna basically have him for a long time. And one day while I was at work, I actually was working at Catholic Charities in Phillipsburg, New Jersey, and got a phone call that I never, ever, ever thought that I would get. And that was that he passed away. And so I dodged out of work. I mean, I flew from, Phillipsburg to the Eastern Hospital, and there he was, lying on the table, lifeless. And it shocked me to see the person who taught me how to play football, or helped me in that area, who wasn't perfect, but did the best he could to help raise us, on the table, who gave me this gift to be able to learn how to cut hair and stuff like that. And it rocked me. He was cold, and it just, there was nothing that I could do to bring him back to continue to teach me. And so I vowed, not only that day, but I vowed that I would continue on his legacy and continuously cut hair. And through that, I've been able to not only get my license, get my manager's license, working on my teachers as of right now, on my own shop. And I wish he was here today to see the process, to see all that his training got me and got him. This is a piece of his legacy. This is a part of who he was, and this is my way of honoring that and showing my love and my appreciation for him stepping in and taking care of 3 children that was not his, helping us to guide us in areas when he could, and just being supportive. And so that's how I started.